Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good day. Guys, I just want to add a quick addendum into the previous video that I did talking about the away shirt. I forgot to mention that there's a nice claret and blue striping in the neckline and at the end of the sleeve link. As I still think it's a nice shirt, looks really, really cool. I just think it's a lazy copy and paste and the hammers should be a little bit smaller than they currently are. But in this video, I should say, because there's two videos going up today. In this video, I want to talk about the article that came out not that long after we got relegated, saying that West Ham need £150 million worth of transfers to be sold in order for us to be able to have a push back to the Premier League. Now, of course, there's going to be a little bit of money set aside, and as we know, Matheus Fernandes went to Spurs for 85 million quid. There's about 10 or 11 million going down to the south coast of Southampton. So you can argue to say, for argument's sake, there was 63 million quid out of that deal that we've got to spend on transfers. Now, it's also been confirmed over the last few days that Wan-bissaka has a 25 million pound price tag on his head. Summerville's we talked about yesterday, potentially 50 million pound relegation triggered release clause, and also, there's also talk that unfortunately that Mavropanos has said that he wants to leave the club. Now I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't put it past him. He's a Greek international. Maybe the Greek international side have said, we're happy for you to play in the Premier League, but obviously all players have had a 50% pay cut, so there's going to be that on top of it. So I'll be very disappointed if Mav goes. Very, very disappointed on that. But it kind of got me thinking and say, well, if we're looking at like 25 million for Wan-bissaka, okay, so add that onto the 62 million pound. That's 18. That's nearly 90 million quid. If we're looking at 25 plus 87, 88 million quid. If we're looking at adding 50 million pound on top of that for Somerville, that's 140 million quid, give or take, before any other player leaves. So I do think it's still going to be a one out, one in scenario with West Ham, as it's been for time immemorial. I really genuinely think that's going to be the case. We're genuinely looking at players that need to be sold before anybody comes in. So it still shows me that, yes, all right, there might be a few million quid on top of the money available for Fernandez's sale, already available, set aside for the transfer window. But guys, we're going to have a hell of a lot we're going to probably have to spend close to Spurs money. I really genuinely think we will have to spend close to what Spurs are spending at the minute in order to be able to have a very, very good transfer window to get us back to get us out of the Championship, hopefully win it in one or two places, first or second place, and get us back to the Premier League. Obviously, last time round we screwed it because we wanted the spectacle of the playoff final. Only just about got through that with the with the Blackpool game. We played well, but was dodgy defending, as it always is with West Ham. And as a result, guys, as I say, I still think that we're going to be looking at money coming in before players come in. Because we've still got the likes of very, very likely that James Ward-Prowse is going to be off. Fulkrug, possibly even Alvarez, 25 to 30, probably 15, 20 million pound for him. Unfortunately, I don't want to see Alvarez go. I think it's a cracking player. Yes, he had a lot of injuries last season, and people said he had a nightmare against England. I don't think he did. I thought for the limited time that he had on the ball, I think he played pretty well, to be fair, bearing in mind everything that he suffered last season. And then, as I say, it's just literally on top of that. It's just, yeah, I know a lot of people are starting to panic now because, as I said yesterday, the backroom staff is now complete. But at the same point, guys, I do genuinely think that, it's still business as usual. It's still one out, one in. But we've still got a little way to go before the season starts. Where are we? We're literally just 5 weeks. Where are we? We're on the, what is it, like 9th today, I think it is, wasn't it? So, or whatever the date is, whatever. We've still got about a month before the season starts itself. I mean, obviously before that we've got the Portsmouth game, and we've got the friendlies and whatnot. If any players do come in, then I'll be watching the friendlies to see what they're like. I mean, Friendlies are even, you know, even Gary Lineker said on one of the This Is Football podcasts that nobody wants to play an England friendly because it's just about fitness and tactics, and that's exactly how I feel about the West Ham friendlies. They're irrelevant. The scoreline's irrelevant. Just get these players back to match fitness, especially those that didn't travel to the World Cup as well, for that matter. Get those guys up and running, and you know, now we'll see the new tactics and you know, see who needs to stay, etc., etc. I mean, we all personally know who needs to stay, who needs to go. You know, we know that, but you know, it's not always how management looks at it. But as I say, I do feel that we're going to be on the cusp when it comes to players coming in and going, because as I say, we're still looking at sales, heavily looking at sales, because at the end of the day, it's a relegated squad. There has to be sales. There has to be. The squad was not good enough and hasn't been good enough for 2 or 3 seasons before we got back. Okay, taking the Conference League out of the equation, where would he finished up? 14th, maybe 13th. Or maybe 12th max, which we would have taken, but still not good enough in terms of what we want to achieve going forward, which is the whole reason why we've got relegated, etc., etc. But as I say, guys, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Out of all the players, I mean, I'm not going to do the polls again because we've already gone through who you want to stay. Now I want you guys to answer. I want you to tell me who you think we should be selling. So I might put some post up on that. But in the meantime, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know who you think you should be selling, that we should be selling in terms of having a good push to get and to reinforce as well, for that matter. Obviously, I know people say, yes, I want this Disasi to come in, blah blah blah. I'm not asking that. As I say, I want you to tell me who you think we should be selling, because you guys have answered who you want to stay. All right, so I know the logical would be everybody that we wasn't voted for, but not everybody that watches these videos have voted on those polls. So I want you to get your thoughts. But guys, don't forget to check out the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. The link in the description below, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts, and t-shirts made by Admiral and Umbro. So go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield, for that matter, as they are supporting a hell of a lot of food banks. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. And if you want to buy one of my personalized shirts, that, as you can see from the animation that's up here, then by all means, please do click on that as well. The link's in the description. If you want to get 10% off deals up until the 16th of August, when the season kicks off, then use the code COYI to get 10% off across everything. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, take care, and I'll see you very soon. All the best now.